Yeah, it's peak. Absolute peak. You know, I'm not really into those, ooh, Mario Kart 9's got a competitor arguments. I would much rather have the games and fanbases coexist together and not have them making everything a competition. But I actually kinda agree. I'm genuinely more excited for this game's final release than Mario Kart 9. This might piss some people off, but I genuinely had more fun with this game than any Mario Kart game I've played. And the game's not even finished. So let's take a look at this absolutely peak game and find out why I love it so much. First of all, I just want to give a massive thank you to Sega for letting me participate in the closed network test. I know it's nothing too insane, and I know a lot of people got selected, but I just feel so honored to be a beta tester for my favorite video game character's new game. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. So, what's this game all about? Well, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is the fourth game in the Sonic Racing franchise, taking the best elements from all of those games and even some of the Riders series of games. Now, being someone who's never played any Sonic Racing game except Sonic R, I had absolutely no idea what to do or how to play the game. But luckily, the game eases you in as you play, and after around 2 races, I got pretty comfortable with the game's controls and how they work. The game's mechanics are definitely more elaborate and complex than Mario Kart. I mean, in most of the games you really only need to know how to accelerate and use items. It doesn't usually get more complex than that. Which isn't at all a bad thing. It ensures that anyone could have a great time. The casual gamers or children who aren't really familiar with the games can have fun with the basic mechanics, while the more skilled and advanced players can take advantage of them to do better in the race. It's fun for everyone. Basically, the Mario Kart games have a low skill floor and high skill ceiling. Wait, where was I going with this? Oh right, while Sonic Racing CrossWorlds has more complex mechanics than Mario Kart, it manages to simplify them enough to contain that low skill floor and high skill ceiling gameplay that Mario Kart does so well. It achieves this by not only giving you a bunch of fairly good tutorial screens that do a good job of teaching you how to play, but also by making it so that all the moves and mechanics are mapped to basically the same buttons as Mario Kart. Really, all the buttons you need to memorize to play the game well are the X button, the control stick, and one of the shoulder buttons on each side, used respectively for accelerating, turning and tricking, drifting, and using items. Also, keep in mind that, once again, like I said earlier, I haven't played any of the prior Sonic Racing games, so I'm not aware if the mechanics also work like this in those games. So while some of you might already be used to this control set, this is all new to me. Another thing you should keep in mind is that this game is still unfinished and in closed beta, meaning that everything is subject to change and lots of stuff is to be added in the final release. Anyways, at the start of the race, you get a chance to rev up at the countdown for a burst of speed once the countdown ends, just like in Mario Kart. But I actually vastly prefer how they handle it in this game. In Mario Kart, you would usually have to hold down the button at around when the 2 appears and just hope you got the timing right. There's no real visual indicator. But in this game, you actually get a meter telling you exactly how much you should rev up before the countdown ends, and I really love this. If you get the timing down perfectly, you get a huge burst of speed. If you go off by a little bit, you will get a smaller boost. And if you completely miss it, you'll stumble and not gain any speed. The drifting also works slightly differently from Mario Kart, but not by a lot. In this game, you also have the 3 boost levels that you build up while drifting, just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Sharper turns fill the boost more, while wider turns fill it less. You're all familiar with this, but there are a few differences. Firstly, you're now no longer stuck in one turning direction while drifting. You can actually turn the other way and still maintain your drift and your boost level if you time it well. Secondly, your steering gets a little wonky. I don't really know how to explain it, but the physics while you're drifting are kinda different than Mario Kart, but again, I got used to it pretty fast. Your drifting also works completely differently depending on if you're on land, on water, or up in the sky. Oh yeah, that's right. Coming straight out of All-Stars Racing Transformed, the Transform gimmick is back. If you know how it worked in that game, then you know how it works here too. Anyways, using the drift in the sky is mostly the same, but better. Drifting here helps you move sharper in any direction, including up and down, as well as giving you a speed boost. And building up the boost meter in the water makes you do a jump that allows you to snag some rings and perform tricks. Oh, that's right, the tricks! Unlike in Mario Kart, where you can only trick once as you're leaving the ground. Leaving the ground? Who the fuck says that? In this game, you perform tricks mid-air while you're off the ground. While you're off the ground? What the fuck is wrong with me? You rapidly move the left stick in any direction, alternating between left, right, up, down, you get the point. And the more consecutive tricks you do, the bigger boost you'll get once you land. Tricking is probably the most important part of the overall moveset in this game, in my opinion. You always want to be tricking to get as many speed boosts as you can, and because the tracks have so many ramps and jumps and everything, it gives you plenty of opportunities for crazy tricking combos. That combined with the water segments, which allow you to constantly jump and perform tricks, make it so that you always want to be tricking. The rings are given a substantial purpose too. You can hold up to 100 of them and they increase your top speed. They're found all throughout the tracks, and because you can hold up to 100 rings instead of 10, this makes their speed increase way more substantial than the coins in Mario Kart. However, holding onto your rings is much harder than it seems. You'll lose rings from getting hit by items, making contact with other drivers, and literally just touching the sides of the tracks. And because the game is so chaotic, you'll constantly be losing rings. Your ring count is never safe. Now you might think that this is a bad thing, but because the tracks are so filled to the brim with ring lines and even bigger packs of rings containing 5, 10, 20, or even 100 rings, you can never really be sure of how many rings you'll have. Now for this game's main gimmick. You know, the CrossWorlds thing. After you go through the first lap of the selected track, the player currently in first place gets to choose between two new tracks, and once the new track gets selected, all players go through this giant ring and switch the track mid-race. That is so cool! This makes the races feel so fresh and avoids the #1 problem I have with racing games, which is how repetitive they can feel. Not only does switching the track mid-race completely change the undertone and atmosphere for the race, but once you get through one lap of a new track, you go back to the first track you were racing on for the final lap, but this time it's remixed and includes new elements and obstacles, which even further helps to not make the game feel repetitive. And sometimes when you're going through the new track, this frenzy thing happens, which gives you insane assists like dash rings all around the tracks, or even temporary invincibility and instant mini turbo charges. I love the CrossWorlds gimmick. It's so much fun. Anyways, now that we've explained the basics of how to play the game, except for the items, which I'll mention in a second, let's discuss why I love this game so much and why it's so fun. Even though I kinda already started talking about why I love this game with the CrossWorlds gimmick and all, but whatever. Firstly, the items. Oh my god, I love the items. You've got all your Mario Kart item alternatives for green shells, red shells, mushrooms, blue shells, and so forth, as well as completely new items. But easily my favorite thing about the items is how creative they are. Like, the bullet bill alternative is the drill wisp, the mushrooms are white wisps, the blue shell is one of those ghosts from Sonic Adventure 2 and it like shoots a bunch of hurricanes or whatever. The star is a fucking monster truck, like it's so cool. Then you have the new stuff like the laser wisp, this fucking ninja star that splits you in half, the void wisp that sucks in everything around you. Like, the items are so fun. You can hold up to 2 items initially, and I'm just gonna say it. This game handles items better than any Mario Kart game that has ever existed. Like, I genuinely do not give a single shit about items in any Mario Kart game. Whenever I play casually, I usually just turn them off if the game has that option, because I like the games for the fun tracks and fluid controls. The items are always just a huge nuisance for me in Mario Kart. Like, yeah, I use them, but not because I want to, but because I have to if I want to do well in the race. But in this game, the items are so fucking fun to use, as well as being insanely useful, and it just makes for such fun, insane chaos all the time. And that's probably my favorite part of this game. The chaos. If you're looking for adrenaline, this game is for you. At least in the online races. Like, you're never given the opportunity to relax in this game, ever. Like, not even relax. You're not given the opportunity to, like, catch your breath or plan out what you're gonna do. It's non-stop chaos from start to end. And I absolutely love that. It's so fun. Like, this game makes you feel skilled for just managing to stay ahead of last place. It's that chaotic. You know those clips online of people getting Mario Karted? Yeah, well, that's this game, but all the time. Now, this might be a turnoff for some people, but I think this is insanely fun. You're constantly pressing buttons, changing tactics, making moves. It's so much fun. I love the non-stop action and chaos. It's insane. Now, it likely won't be this chaotic in the single player mode in the final release because, well, the closed beta is used to test out the online servers, meaning you can only play against real people and a few bots here and there if the room isn't full. And playing against real people is tough, to put it lightly. So I doubt the single player will be this chaotic in the final release, but for the online mode, prepare to sweat a lot. You feel on top of the world when you get first place. It feels so rewarding and sometimes feels like a miracle. Real quick, before I get to the next big thing that I love about this game, I just want to mention some less important stuff that I love about this game that isn't essential to making the game good, but overall highly improves the experience. First of all, this game is beautiful. Genuinely beautiful. Everything from the character models to the look and design of the tracks is gorgeous. This might be, in my opinion, the most beautiful looking Sonic game since Sonic Unleashed. The lighting, the pure charm of the game, and the characters, the animation quality, it's all amazing. Which brings me to my next bit. Polish. This is one of the most polished and refined Sonic games I've seen in a long time. Okay, well, mostly. I did experience a few glitches here and there, but for the most part, it's incredibly polished, and again, it's still in beta. The game might not even be close to finished for all we know, and yet it's already looking more polished than the last few mainline Sonic games we've had these last couple years. Everything about it, from the super charming emotes to the beautiful graphics and animations to the character interactions when you land a hit on a specific character.
That jogged your memory, Shadow? I'll strike back, Sonic.
To the surprisingly creative car customization, to the quality of the models, like Sonic's squills actually move with him when you turn him. Speaking of which, I never understood the hate that this newer Sonic model gets. Like, ooh, his quills are now shorter. Oh, the humanity. Like, I think people genuinely don't understand the true problem with this newer model. The model itself is completely fine. It looks great. The things that make it look bad or slightly off in games like Shadow Generations are the colors on the model, the lighting, the stiffness of the animation, and somewhat the texture. And to prove that the model itself is great and it's the other games' lighting that makes it ugly, look at the model in this game. It's beautiful. Everything about it. The quills are just the right length, and don't you dare tell me otherwise. The lighting on it is perfect. The texture looks great. The animation is beautiful. This is a good model. Wait, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah. Once you finish a race, depending on what placement you got and how well you overall performed in the race, you'll get these Dompa tickets. Yeah, that fucker is bad, as well as points to raise your overall rank.
B rank, keep getting better.
You start at rank E, and you slowly raise the bar the more races you compete in, going up to rank Legend. And of course, the higher your rank is, the tougher the players that you're matched with will be. But what about the Dompa tickets? Well, they can be used to buy car parts as well as stickers for your cars. Yeah, the customization in this game is insane. So far, we've got 9 playable characters with many more to come in the final release, as well as car customization that's way more diverse and intuitive than Mario Kart. I swear I'm not trying to make this a competition, I just naturally compare kart racers to Mario Kart. You can change your car type, ranging from speed, power, handling, acceleration, and a secret slot that's definitely not for extreme gear. Nope, no way. You can customize your car's front, rear, and tires. You can change the color of every individual part, as well as a bunch of character-themed presets, and equip it with up to 4 stickers at the front and back that you can change the size of, rotate, and put anywhere you want on the car. The customization in this game is off the charts, and I love it. Oh, and the track selection is so good too. East Stadium, Rainbow Garden, Wonder Museum all became instant classics to me. But then we got the insane stuff like Metal Harbor from Sonic Adventure 2, Dinosaur Jungle and Pirate Storm from Secret Rings, and Water Palace. All absolutely peak choices and insanely fun and beautifully designed. Oh, and the music too is so good, oh my god. I know I've been saying it a lot, but truly the best word to describe the music in this game is beautiful. It often goes for more of an orchestral vibe than your usual Sonic music. The music track even changes in the final lap. The title screen music feels like this big event. It almost sounds like it's coming from a Mario and Sonic Olympics game, and I mean that in a very positive way. The Metal Harbor remix damn near made me tear up, it's so good. But then there's some absolutely insane music choices. Like, if I asked you what the music would be for the Ocean View track, you'd probably say Seaside Hill or Ocean Palace from Sonic Heroes. But no, you're wrong. The music track in the intro is a remix of Supersonic Racing from Sonic R, and the theme playing during the race itself is a remix of You Can Do Anything from the Japanese and European soundtrack of Sonic CD. What? That's so fucking cool, I absolutely love it. Like, they had no reason to go with those themes, but they did it and it's amazing. Oh, and when the final lap choir kicks in, it's so majestic. Now, this is still the beta, so I did experience a few crashes here and there, but they weren't too common. And yeah, again, this is just the beta, so they have a lot of time to polish out the game even more and fix any issues or bugs like this. And now for the big new thing that I love about this game. The gadgets. Oh my god. These are such a game changer. Gadgets are little add-ons that you can add to your gameplay that you acquire by doing well in races. At the beginning, you have 3 gadget slots, and you can gradually increase them and go up to 6 the more matches you play. Different gadgets take up more slots depending on how useful they are. These range from giving you an extra 3rd item slot to letting you perform air tricks much faster, to giving you a 4th level of drift boost, to increasing the odds of getting speed boost items, to letting you build up a boost level instantly by changing directions mid-drift, to changing your handling, to letting you hold 200 rings. It never ends. This is such a game changer. It's absolutely crucial to choose the optimal gadgets you need if you want to win any races. Like, these are so absolutely wonderful, I genuinely don't know what to say. They've changed the gameplay so much, it's insane. It's just such a brilliant mechanic that keeps every race fresh in a game that already does so much to keep the races fresh. It's phenomenal. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is a truly fantastic experience and another game to add to the big greats of the 2020s. And it's easily the best Sonic Racing game I've played, even though I haven't played many of them. This is just such a brilliant game, and to think that this is only the beta, I am so excited for the final release, and I can't wait to jump back into this game once it's finally properly out, whenever that is. But until then, I hope this video made you a little more excited for the final release. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching until the end, and once again, a big thank you to Sega for giving me this opportunity. It really means a lot to me. And feel free to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Even the smallest bit of support helps a lot. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you all on the racetracks.
I see it now. It's always been inside of me. And now I feel so free in this possibility.
Anyways, next video is